If you told me few years ago that I would be hosting my own podcast, I would have laughed. Me, a podcast host? No way. I used to think podcasts were for the big names in the industry, the ones who had everything figured out. People who sounded so confident, so sure of themselves. Meanwhile, I was behind the scenes working on other people's businesses, building their systems, their funnels, their success. And I convinced myself that that staying in the background was where I belonged. But deep down, I knew that I was craving for more. That if I wanted to grow, I had to work on stepping up. I had to work on stopping myself from being in hiding. If I wanted to make the impact I did dream of, I couldn't literally keep being in hiding. Like I said, I had to step up, show up, and put myself out there, and that was terrifying. And so, if you have ever doubted yourself, if you have ever thought, who am I to do this? Like, literally, for even anything as small or big, that doesn't matter. But if you have ever said this to yourself, that who am I to do this? This episode is for you. Because today I am going to be sharing the moments when I struggled with confidence, the lessons I learned, and the strategies that helped me build the confidence I have today. So let's dive in.
Welcome to Heartfelt Hustle, the podcast that dives deep into the heart and hustle of entrepreneurship, where our dreams meet reality and where our passions fuel our success. I'm your host, Sushmita Jain, a loan strategist and operations director, founder of an outsourcing agency. Most of my clients call me their right hand woman, and most importantly, a curious soul as well as a nerd. I am here to share my experiences. I am here to share my insights. I am here to share practical tips that will help you build a thriving and a sustainable business. Whether you're an aspiring entrepreneur, a seasoned business owner, or someone looking to infuse more heart into your hustle, I am here and this podcast is for you. Each week, we'll dive into topics ranging from reconnecting to your passions, your soul, your why, and overcoming the roadblocks of your growth journey. So grab a cup of coffee, get comfortable, and let's dig in into this heartfelt hustle together.
Well, let's start with some real talk, shall we? Confidence doesn't just happen. It's something you build. And trust me, I have had my fair share of struggles along the way. Or at least by now, the ones I have realized is maybe the life events when I have had to do the work or the inner work when it comes to how I feel, and what I want to get done. Obviously, once we grow from where we are right now to the next phase or stage in our life, I will have to do a lot more work on myself. But that's the point. It's never a journey which is going to be stagnant, and it is something that we will be working on ourselves for, like, literally from time to time. But here are few key moments when I literally questioned myself. Like, initially, before even building my brand, showing up, talking about things, being on social media, I spent quite some time working behind the scenes, freelancing, and helping other businesses grow. And when I realized I needed to show up and build my own brand, fear hit me hard. I thought, what if no one listens? What if no one reads the blog that I'm writing? What if I have nothing valuable to say? Like, literally, it wouldn't be an understatement if I said that I felt safer to stay invisible. Like, seriously. I would scroll through social media and see industry leaders looking so polished, so confident, so ahead of me. And I'd be like, they already have an audience. They already know what they are doing. Who am I to compete with these people? And comparison nearly kept me stuck. Like, seriously, it did, right? And then did come my location. Coming from India, it made me question myself a bit more because I was looking forward to take my business global. I was looking forward to be on the world map where there were so many other people in different numerous locations already dominating the market. So this one did hit deep. You know, I questioned whether my voice would matter in the global online space. Would people take me seriously? Would they trust me as an expert? I felt like I had to prove myself more than others. And then comes the big ball game because I feel, and I have noticed this, is that one of the reasons why I feel people are not comfortable selling is that selling is not the problem. Selling ourselves, selling our expertise, that I feel is the whole different story. Like the reason why so many people I have worked with, and I feel at some level it was when it comes to me as well, that pricing our offers or talking about our skills or even actually owing our expertise feels uncomfortable. And, sometimes we even question, like, are we even worth this? But that's not how it works, right? Or even there are moments when maybe we want to launch. Like, I remember my first online launch ever, and oh my god, I think it's gonna be 7 or maybe 8ish, 9ish years since I actually did my first online big launch. And yeah, it was a emotional roller coaster. Like, if you can sense it on my in my voice right now, yeah, I'm emotional. And I remember I went from excitement to full blown panic mode in minutes. Like, what if no one buys? What if I fail publicly? Like, launching was one of the biggest confidence tests I have ever faced. And I think that's one of the reasons why I love it so much now, because I'm doing it for myself, I'm doing it for my clients, and we are working on it with our members in our membership. Oh my God, just love it so much. But like, it's not easy posting online, doing live videos, sending emails. I can understand. It all feels like, yeah, again wouldn't be an understatement if I said it all feels like standing on a stage with a spotlight on ourselves. We are afraid of judgment. What if we say the wrong thing? What if no one engages? Like, now that I'm actually talking about this, I remember the first time when I went live for the first time ever, when live video was just starting. It was just introduced on platforms like Periscope, Facebook Lives, and all of those kind of things. Oh my God, what a memory that one is, because I obviously couldn't get it done by myself alone. I did join a community to make sure I did work on that, and that accountability did get me on it. I was terrified. Like, seriously, terrified again would be me just underplaying it. But yeah, it was an experience of its own. And yes, I was afraid of saying the wrong thing. I was afraid of what if no one shows up? What if no one engages? But I remember I had like 49 people watching me live on my first ever live video, and it was supposed to be a 10-minute video, but it never ended in 10 minutes, and it is so much fun. And since then, obviously, I have been unstoppable, but that first step was not easy. You know, I used to believe that to be seen as an expert, I needed to know everything. Like, oh my God, how am I supposed to do a live video? And if I didn't know something, I did feel like a fraud. But, well, that's not how confidence works, does it? Confidence is trusting ourselves to figure things out as we go on. I'm not saying maybe if you don't know something and then you just start teaching other people that. No, like, for example, I have been running launches, like I said, for 9ish years for my own business. We have supported, I'm sure, more than 300 or 350 launches by now for our clients. So I know my thing, and that's the reason why I can talk about it. I have been on social media behind the scenes as well as on the front end included for more than a decade. That's how I can talk about, building an audience, connecting with people, helping you grow your business, and all of these kind of things. So, obviously, it's a muscle that I've been building over the years. It is something that I have been learning, testing as the market changes, evolves, as the audience evolves. But even for you to trust yourself, even for you to test things out, even for you to show up, you need confidence. So let me know, does any of these resonate with you? If even for a moment you felt like, oh my God, I hear you, Sush, then you clearly can see we have been through the same boat. And while working on it all over the years, here is what I've learned: confidence isn't something you wake up with one day. It is something you practice. And here are more or some of the major lessons that changed everything for me. Because like I said, I used to think I needed confidence before actually taking action. But, well, the truth is other way around, isn't it? Confidence comes from taking action. Every time I pushed myself to show up, to launch, to try, I built my confidence muscle. Every different launch module or launch event or any idea I tried and tested, it helped me understand things. Every time I tried different ways of showing up, whether it is live videos, whether it was me writing content and showing up, whether it was me here actually having my own podcast. Oh my God. Like, to be very honest, there was even a certain point of time in my life where I thought I did not sound that great. And that was also one of the reasons why I did not ever even think of having a podcast. But here we are. I'm loving it. I'm having fun. I am looking forward to sharing more things with you. And I love my voice. I sound amazing. And all of this is being possible because I took action. So start before you're ready, because confidence follows action and not the other way around, right? And if there are times when you fail, I want you to understand one thing. I want you to start reframing failure as growth, because every time I failed, whether it was a post that flopped, an offer that did not sell, or a launch that did not go as I planned it, I learned something valuable. So, well, if you want to learn, you've got to test things out, right? And me being a manifesting generator, that's how I literally perform. Like, I am a trial and error person. Until and unless I'm not learning something, I don't have anything to test, implement, and even work on it further. Or look at kids. Like, when I look at my son, he is doing crazy stuff. But every time he learns, like if maybe, he falls, he'll be like, oh, okay, I failed here. So maybe next time I've got to be conscious. Or maybe if he touches something which is slightly hot, and then he'll be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't touch it. Or once he actually went under one of our tables, and when he stood up, he got hurt because, the table did hit him on his head. Since then, he's been so mindful whenever he goes under the table to even get his ball out. So, well, not those balls out, but an actual ball to pay. Okay, anyways, jokes apart, but you get my point. So, you know, we don't have to be worried about failure, but we have to start looking at it as learning lessons. So, be curious, be ready to experiment, right? And to be very honest, we did talk about this slightly, but I also want you to stop giving other people the power to actually help you own your expertise. Like that's one thing that I did myself as well, is that I have to, until and unless I am not gonna own my expertise, I am not going to look at myself as the person who I trust and believe in. How is anyone else going to do the same? So the more I showed up as a leader, whether it was in my content, whether it was on my calls, whether it was the strategy I was testing, when I did it embodying the leader I am, the more people saw me as the leader I am. So, hope that makes sense, right? And always remember, you know more than you think. There's a very, like, literally, there's a chance you're underestimating yourself. So, own your fucking expertise and have fun. Get yourself out there, try, test, and pivot if needed. And again, one more thing, confidence isn't built alone, it's built in the safe environment. It's built in community. So, whether it's mentors, friends, like minded entrepreneurs, make sure you're surrounding yourself with people who lift you up. I have my set of people who lift me up, and that's how I am working on my things. And I want you to find your people so that confidence thrives in you with the right environment. And if you are feeling stuck and self doubt, here are three things you probably can do today itself. One is shift your inner narrative. Start, like seriously, start a wins journal and write down every success, no matter how small. You could literally have one journal or one notebook, which is only where, like a space where you're writing down all of your success. You know, anything small, any small win, anything you love, any magical moment you come across every single day, whatever it is, just write it there. Anytime you need a pep up, anytime you need, you know, a, I don't know, sign to pick yourself up, just look at that journal, see all the amazing things you've written. You will start feeling different, you know? Next, I want you to start taking small risks daily, because confidence builds when you push yourself outside of your comfort zone consistently. So, see how every single day you can take even a small risk to build that confidence muscle. And we talked about this before, rewire how you see failure. Every setback is data, and data is pretty valuable. It's not the end of the road, it's not end of the world, it's not the final verdict. It is just data from which you can learn and pivot or change or adapt based on what you learn. So treat it as a stepping stone, right? So here's, you know, the wrap up before we end this episode. Confidence is something that you practice. You don't need to wait until you feel you're ready. You just need to take the next step. And as if this is not enough, as in to give you, like steps to follow every single day, I'm actually giving you a challenge. Yeah, let's do this, shall we? Right? Send me a DM on Instagram and tell me one thing you are going to do today to help you step into your confidence. Whenever you're listening to this episode, it does not matter whether you're listening to this episode after it has gone live today or you're listening to it 3 months down the line, 3 years down the line. It doesn't matter. Whenever you are listening to this episode, send me a DM on Instagram and tell me one thing you are going to do today to step into your confidence. If this episode resonated with you, share it with a friend who might need this boost too. And if you are ready to start showing up boldly in your business, well, let's chat about that as well, right? I have an amazing membership, which I feel is the perfect place to help you get support you need to help you build confidence in selling, launching, growing a business. So let me know if you want to know more details about it. That's it for today's episode. Remember, confidence is not about knowing it all, it's about trusting yourself to figure it out, right? So, if you've loved this episode and if you're meeting me for the first time ever, make sure you hit the follow button and make sure you drop a review because that helps us as well. And let me know what resonated the most too. So, see you soon. Bye for now.